Hi, in this video I'm going to go over some of the new features in EasyPDF Takeoff version 2. I got a bunch of new features and people have been asking for some tutorials, so here we go. So one of the first features that we're going to take a look at is this PDF utility. This is a free utility, and this is used basically to work with some PDF documents that you might use before a takeoff. So one common use for this application is, for example, I have this PDF here that a customer sent me. It's a very big file, and I only need, for example, one page of this document. I'm not going to use this one here because it's going to take a long time to load, but let's use something smaller like this one here. So after the document loads, you're going to have the pages here displayed on the side. So for example, if I need to work with only one or a couple pages, I can unselect them, and I can actually select the pages that I want to export. And then over here, I can give the document a name and select where I want to save it. Now down here, we have a couple different options to what we want to do with a file. So for this one here, export as images. So what that's going to do is it's going to take the document and compress it into a image and export it as a PDF. So this is one way, for example, if a PDF has things like pop-up notes or annotations and you want to flatten the file, this will be a good option, but what it's going to do is going to make the file actually larger. Or you can click here to export as PDF, and this is going to save the selected pages as a PDF. Now, another option you can do, or a feature that I use sometimes, is, for example, if a customer sends you multiple PDF files at the same time. So you can actually select multiple files and you can load them. And this allows you to basically merge PDFs into one image. Or for example, if you want to take a couple PDF pages, merge them, and use a couple pages off this document, you can also do it as well. So one thing you might be asking is, what's the point of using this feature versus, for example, if I go here, I can go File, Print. And if I go into File, Print, you can export as PDF. So usually what this does is that it's going to work a lot like that export as images feature. It's going to flatten the PDF. What it's going to do is going to reduce the image quality, and also it's going to increase the file size, and then might also affect the scale of a page. So if you're going to be working for takeoff, you don't really want to use this because it's going to have negative effects on your page. What this does is actually natively exports the PDF file or the PDF pages. Okay, so next feature we're going to look at. So let's create a new project and import one in. I'm going to use this one here because it's not too big. Okay, so when we select a page, before, for example, we have to create each individual takeoff item. So for example, doors. And if you're doing takeoffs regularly and you have a bunch of different takeoff items that you're going to reuse all the time, this particular action might take a long time, and you might want to create certain templates which you're going to use. So for this one here, we're going to use something called a toolbox. So the toolbox, it's accessed from this menu here. It's called Edit Toolbox. When you click on this, you're going to get this window that pops up. So in a toolbox, you're going to have two categories or two fields that need to fill in. So common items, so the group list would be basically like a kind of a folder, a category of the items that you're creating. So for example, if I work in landscaping, I'm going to make one that's called trees. And I'm going to click add. So this one here basically creates a folder for me to put different takeoff items into it. Now, if I click into this item, now I can add individual items. So for example, if I work with trees, I'm not an expert on landscaping, but let's say put maybe a palm tree. And we can give it a comment. So this one, the comment field would show up on your takeoff. It'll give you a bit more description. So you might want to put like a part number or something. Part number 1. We can give it a default color, and then later here we can select what kind of takeoff item it is. So this will show up on your takeoff and it'll be a default item. And if you want, you can give it a sell price, and you can give it a cost, how much it costs you to buy, and click add. And we can just keep doing that. I don't know too much about trees, but let's say I'm going to use this one here. So once this is added, I can just close this in. So what we need to do is we need to reopen the application. And as you can see, once it's reloaded, you're going to have your items here show up on this little menu here called Palms. Now to use it, it's quite simple. We just select the page, and all you have to do is you click here on the item and click add, and we can already start using it on the page. And to switch the items, we can just click on here. It creates a new item, and it goes back here on the page. Now, if you need to make changes to a toolbox, all you have to do is you go here to edit toolbox. You select the category, and if you want, you can always rename this. And if you want to change the actual individual items, you can just go back here and rename it. And once you close the window, it will automatically saves. And when you reload the program, it will update the toolbox. Now, the other issue is, let's say you want to take these toolboxes and you want to transfer to a different computer. This is pretty simple to do as well. So if you go into the install location of your application and you look into it, you'll see these two files. This is where the application stores the data from the toolboxes. And in fact, you can just open them up and you can see the data in here. If you're tech savvy, you can actually, this is called JSON files. So you can technically open it up with Excel, or there's actually editors that you can use. So for example, if your business is going to have a really big group of takeoffs that you want to fill in, for example, in Excel format, you can always just export it. And you can always just re-import it here, and it'll save you some time having to enter it by hand. Okay, so the next feature we're going to look at is PDF editing. And that's something that people's been asking me to add to the program. And that's the ability to, have better ability to put annotations and edit PDFs. So for this, I added a new feature that allows you to edit the PDF. So you can access this feature in two locations. So one is from the home screen. You're going to have this little edit button here. If you click here, it will bring up the page for editing in this new window. The other one will be from a workspace. So actually each individual page will have this little button, and you can click on it as well. So to edit the PDFs, you have a bunch of different options. So this is a native PDF editor. So there's a bunch of features you can do. You can resize, there's a signature here, but if you click on this little edit button, this will bring up a bunch of tools that you can use. So for example here, text markup, you can add a bunch of kind of highlights and features here. There's going to be a little text box items which you can use to add notes. And these tools here, you can drag them around, you can copy them, and there's also an undo. So if you click Ctrl-Z, you should be able to undo some actions. Some other features here. So if you go here, there's a bunch of different PDF items that you can add. So for example, if I want to draw like an arrow to point something out. We have stamps. You can do these pre-built stamps. And we can also, add a custom stamp as well. So like for example, an image. Let's see what else. Over here, we can also add notes. And all this stuff will be saved as a PDF. So this program will automatically save a PDF. So once we actually close the window, it will automatically save it. But if you look back here, you can see that all the items that I did they didn't really apply to the page. So let's say I want to take the items from the annotation and add it to the page itself. How do I do this? So over here on the bottom there's a little checkbox that says apply changes to PDF. If you take this, check this off, and you exit the window, see your pages here, your changes here will apply to the page. So how this works is that the application actually keeps a copy of a PDF page in memory, and these are two separate items. So over here in the takeoff, that's an image in the background, and this is a PDF. So if you wanted to, you can technically just add your notes here and only apply them to your PDF or takeoff as you need them. So another feature that we have here are screenshots and blocks. So what is a screenshot? Some people wanted to have the ability to take parts of a PDF page and copy it. So to create a screenshot, all you do here is click on this create button, and optionally you can give a screenshot description. So for example, floor. And I'll click on the canvas and it'll create a little box. In this box you can drag it around, and there's a little box here on the bottom which allow you to resize. So you'll put this into a location where you want to do a screenshot, and you go back here and you click finish. And your screenshot will show up here. Now to put your screenshot on the page, you can click it here and it added to a page. Now once you close this application, the screenshot will be applied to the PDF, so you will no longer be able to edit it. So make sure you either apply it or delete it. Now if I close this off and I go to a different page and I go edit page, the screenshot would actually show up here. So for example, I can go through the different pages in the PDFs and take the screenshots I need, and then I can just copy and paste them into whatever location I need. So there's another feature here, it's called blocks. So a block basically works the same way as a screenshot, which allow you to take it and create block. Now the main difference is that the screenshots, they're basically an in-memory item. So once you close the PDF, all the information will be lost. So the actual location will be in the project folder. You'll see there's blocks here. So the blocks will be stored on your hard drive. So in fact, you can actually open this up. Let's try it with an image editor. And if you want, you can actually modify it yourself if you wanted to. And you go back to edit page, you will see that the new block has been applied, and you can actually use it again in the page. So this feature here, what this will be useful is, for example, if you're an engineer or something, you're an architect, and you want to put some commonly used items on your page, for example, reviewed, you can reuse these blocks. Yeah, so those are the features, new features. If you guys have any more ideas, you can always message me to contact me. You can press here contact developer and they will send an email. Hopefully you like the new features, and let me know. Thanks, bye.